So I was telling you about David Sedaris being a garbage geek. He lives in France mostly, and one of his favorite things to do is walk along the highway collecting garbage. And he does it to the extent where I believe he was given an award for, community service, like upstanding citizen kind of award for being an awesome garbage cleaner-upper. And what's interesting when we do the street care for the trees is that when you're aerating the soil, every inch you go down, you find a new layer of garbage. So you think, oh, we've gotten all the garbage from the surface of the tree pit, we're all done. And then you start aerating the soil and you discover last decade's garbage down there. So it's kind of like being an urban archaeologist. And what I'm doing here is trying to not step in the tree pit while I'm tending it, because I don't want to impact the roots. That's our wonderful wood chip from Greenwood Cemetery and the green toter going by. But something that's important to do is not pile it up right against the trunk of the tree, especially when this is like a pretty immature little tree, and we don't want it to get rotted out before it's even really had a healthy start. So I'm just moving the compost and making a little moat around the trunk. And then basically what this does is when it rains, it's going to catch the rainwater, which is beneficial for both the sewer system and the tree. So it keeps the rainwater from heading into the system, where it then overwhelms the system and gets mixed with sewage and a lot of our sewer systems around the city, and puts raw sewage out into our open waterways. And it also helps nourish the tree, and the tree's able to retain more if it has this kind of little moat around it. So that's what you just caught me doing. I'm a volunteer. I signed up on Eventbrite. I'm doing it for some court-mandated community service that came about from a climate protest I was a part of last year in Washington, D.C. And because it was a nonviolent, non-destructive protest in art museum in DC, got a lot of attention as intended. We were able to express our feelings about our government not doing enough to address the climate crisis, and ask them to do more. And we ended up being charged with conspiracy against the United States of America, and as well as felony damage, although we used washable nursery school finger paint. And yeah, it was a very life-altering experience for me, because I spent the summer in federal prison up in Danbury, Connecticut. And this is part of my mandated community service, which I was given just a huge amount of, although I am disabled. And I have a genetic collagen disorder that makes it really hard for me to move around. But I've been moving around because I have to fulfill my responsibility to the federal court system. And this is the kind of thing I love to do anyway. So I do it on my own, even when I'm not mandated by the court. So it's a great thing to help our local climate here in New York. The trees are just so beneficial in so many different ways, like lowering the heat index in the summer, offering shade, offering mental health to New Yorkers, helping with our rainwater management, cleaning our air, which is huge because we have so much carbon pollution, so much particulate matter in the air here in New York City. So our local climate depends on our urban forest to make the air more breathable for all the beings that walk around under the canopy. So yeah, all those things.